Welcome, Elwood Panther and Tri-Central Trojan fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report for a recap with Michelle Garmon and reaction from Elwood head coach Ryan VanSkyock and Tri-Central head coach Cam Hindman. Michelle, tell us how Tri-Central was able to get the 10-point win.
I'm going to start out with the first quarter real quick. Ethan Cassis hit three three-pointers, and Owen had 5 in the first quarter to take a 19-17 lead. Cassis, I don't know that he got another shot attempt the rest of the game, or if he did, it was only 1 or 2, but he was done scoring after those 3 threes. But what happened was in the second quarter, Tri-Central went on a 17-5 run where they took advantage of Panther turnovers, and they just were really good and aggressive on the offensive glass and got a lot of second, third chance points. And that was the difference in the game, because once they had a 11, maybe 14-point leads, double-figure lead, Elwood got it down to 3 a couple times in the third quarter, but couldn't get all the way back. And then Cooper Leininger for Tri-Central hit a 3 at the end of the third quarter to push I guess Elwood got it down to 5, and then he hit a 3 to push it to 8. Tri-Central then hit double-digit lead again in the fourth quarter and just continued to hang on to that win. It's a good win for Tri-Central. Broke a 4-game losing streak, and I think they'd also lost like 9 out of their last 10 games. Now, part of those losses came without senior big man J. Jankowiak, who had 14 points tonight and just did a good job of being a leader on the floor. And sophomore guard Cooper Leininger, who had a foot injury, he played tonight, and he had maybe his best all-around game of the year. He finished with a game-high 19 points, knocking down 5 threes. He had a big third quarter, but it was Elwood's turnovers and Tri-Central's offensive rebounding were the main stories of the game. That's why Tri-Central came away with a 10-point win.
Good to see Cooper Leininger have a game like that after being injured early in the season.
It really was. Rajas Diaz he's been consistent for Tri-Central, even without through those injuries when they were missing the 2 key players. And he had a double-double tonight, I am sure, 13 points, and he had to have I know he had at least 10 rebounds. I wasn't able to keep track of all the rebounding, but let's just put it this way. He himself had, I think, 3 offensive rebound baskets in that run in the second quarter.
Who were the leading scorers for Tri-Central besides Jay and Cooper?
Diaz had 13, and then you had Logan Sargent with 12 points. Logan played an really outstanding floor game tonight. He did a nice job on both ends, deflections, coming up with steals, driving and kicking, or getting out and finishing with a layup. He did a really nice job for them. So they had 4 players in double figures. And then Brody Arnold added 5 points. He hit a nice 3 for them in the fourth quarter. And Chapman Boy had 3 points. He also hit a 3-pointer in the second half. That was big for the Tri-Central Trojans.
All right, besides Cassis, who played well for Elwood?
Corbin Level played well. He knocked down some shots. Corbin Level and Bryce Schuler each had 11 points to lead the Panthers. They were the only double-figure scorers. Cassis had those 9, all 9 coming in the first quarter. And Connor Wooten scored 9 points for the Panthers. He's doing a nice job inside. You will hear in the conversation with Coach VanSkyock after the game, I mean, he would like to see Connor get up there to where he's giving Elwood like 13 to 14 points a game, which they could use. Braden Etchison had added 7 points, and then you had Blaze Jones with 4, and then 2 other players with 2 points apiece, and another with 1. Ryan cleared his bench. They were down, I think, 14 points. He cleared his bench with about 2.5 minutes to go in the game. I don't blame him. They have a really tough week next week. They play 4 games in 5 days next week.
That's right. That's right.
They play Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You'll hear in my conversation, I said, what's the athletic director have against the basketball coach?
I asked him the same thing this week on the Elwood Panther Report. And here he is. Please stay tuned for Elwood head coach Ryan VanSkyock.
Elwood coach Ryan VanSkyock, things kind of got away from you late there in the second quarter. They created a big enough gap, I thought, that although you could chip away, you just couldn't overtake them.
I thought we didn't play very smart for about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, and it was a 2-point game or tied, and then it went to 9 points just like that. And we told our kids, it's a valuable lesson, is we cannot run and gun with people. Losing 2 kids, we're short on guards now. They hardly can come off the floor. And we just felt like we tired ourselves out, and you could see it out of us, and just made a lot of ill-advised mistakes in that 2-minute stretch, bad shots, turnovers. And unfortunately, they capitalized on them, and credit to those kids. So I thought we played hard for most of the game. We just had way too many turnovers. I felt like we didn't feel comfortable with our guards having the basketball in their hands, and we just got to do a much better job of that. But it goes to show 2-3 minute stretches can make or break a game, and it cost us tonight.
It wasn't just turnovers there, because there was a stretch there when they extended that lead. It was rebounding. You couldn't keep them off. You couldn't keep them away from second chance points.
We've talked about it. We worked on it the other day in practice. We're going to have to go back to the drawing board. We don't ever hardly get any offensive rebounds, and our defensive rebounding has just been god-awful. So we just got to do a much better job of getting a body on somebody and getting somebody out. We're just trying to out-jump people, and sometimes we just stand there and look for the basketball, and we're like, what are we doing? So, again, another critical part that killed us, and we got to get better if we're going to have a chance to beat some of these teams coming up.
That said, tonight I thought Level did a nice job of knocking down some shots for you, 3-pointers, and Schuler too. And then, Wooten does what he can inside. He's a big body that.
I thought they shot the ball really well. That was one area we've been struggling at, is shooting. When we lost Cam and Jackson, that was 91 or 92% of our scoring. So some of these other kids are going to have to step up and find a way to score the basketball. And I thought Bryce has done a really good job. I thought Corbin did a good job tonight. Ethan Cass has shot the ball really well to start the basketball game. So we need all those kids to step up. We need Blaze to score it a little bit more. We need Braden Etchison to score it a little bit more. And then we're going to try to get it out of him, but we feel like Connor should have 16, 18 points every game if he could just finish around the rim. So we're going to still try to focus on him and get him the basketball, and hopefully get some of those bunnies to fall.
I know Cassis had the big 3-pointers, but it seemed like he really didn't get shot opportunities after that first couple of minutes.
I felt like, and that's probably my fault, I felt like we went away from him a little bit. I feel like we don't do a good job of whoever has the hot hand of getting that basketball to those people, and I'll take the blame for that. So we got to do a much better job with that. I just feel like we're always slow delivering the pass. We're one step slow to deliver it. So, again, it was nice to see us score the basketball. Our defense wasn't where it needs to be, so flip-flop a little bit. So hopefully we just finally put a game together for once. And we're going to go Tuesday night in the Southern Wells. It's a tough place to play, and see what we can do.
When do you play again?
So we'll play Tuesday, Southern Wells, then we play Thursday, Friday, Saturday in a row. So we got 4 games next week. So we're going to see what our kids are made out of.
What's up with the athletic director doing that to the basketball team?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Unfortunately, we didn't feel like we'd have 2 more of our guards, and we felt like we're going to have 10, 12 kids that we could rotate and shuffle in. Fortunately, things happen. So we're going to see what our kids are made out of. Are they going to be mentally tough to fight through those things and come out with wins? And we told them, you have a great week, and you win all 4 games next week. You're at 11-9, and it's not had a winning season here in a long, 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 long time. So we're going to take it one game at a time, but we're going to see what our kids are made out of.
Yeah, are any of those games next week rescheduled from weather earlier in the year?
The Geo game on Thursday was supposed to be earlier in the year, and they had to move it. So unfortunately, that is what it is.
Thanks so much to Michelle and Coach VanSkyock. Now, please stay tuned for Tri-Central head coach Cam Hindman.
Here with Tri-Central coach Cam Hindman. Cam, a nice win for the Trojans tonight. You snapped a 4-game losing streak and also a streak where I think you'd lost like 9 of 10 or something. So, and it was positive performance tonight in doing.
Yeah, there were a lot of positives. We definitely needed to come out and play well, and that was, that above a win was really important for us, is to come out and execute some things that we'd worked on. And the scoreboard aside, that was one thing I was really proud of our guys on, is they executed everything that we worked on. And for us, that's kind of a big milestone for what we've been dealing with this year. So to have a good week of practice and then execute the things we worked on was really proud. It was important for us. I was proud of the boys for it. And if you can play basketball that way, the score's bound to go your way. We've had a rough stretch, and the fact that the boys are still on board, they're still on board with each other. The practices are still full of energy, and keeping a locker room together at that point is really tough to do, and I'm proud of the boys for that.
Well, I thought the difference in the game was there in that second quarter. You went on that nice stretch. It was a 17-5 stretch, and you did it by coming up, forcing turnovers, coming up with steals, and then you did it with second and third chance points.
Yeah, and again, that's something else that we've not done really well with this year. And Raja Diaz was an animal on the boards tonight. I haven't looked to see what he ended up with, but the amount of offensive rebounds, he usually does really well on the defensive end, but the offensive boards that Raja grabbed real early on in the game were big, and then he scored off several of them. So again, I think a lot of that first half success was due to Raja, and he took a lot of pressure off of Jay and then some pressure off the guards. Our rebounding was much better tonight than what it has been. And we haven't been bad at rebounding, but I thought it was really important to do one and done and then get the ball up the sideline tonight.
And we talked after the Frankton game how big a difference it makes when you have a healthy J.J. Koviak on the floor, not just from his skill and performance but from his leadership. And you can really tell, your group is really solidified, and I think it's a big pressure off of your guards with Logan and Cooper and
for sure
Brody, just because Jay is good at kind of directing things, stepping out to help them out if they get in a little bit of trouble.
Well, and to your point on his leadership, tonight, Elwood did a really good job. Every time Jay touched the ball, he had two guys on him. And Jake, one of the timeouts, he said, listen, they're doubling me every single time. He said, you guards have to shoot the ball. He said, be ready. I'm going to get it right back to you, and you've got to let it fly. And he did. Where a lot of kids his age that's my turn to shoot. I want those points. And that's just not how Jay operates. So his leadership was really important. I thought we got a lot of open threes because of his leadership and his ability to see what was open and then get the ball to that particular spot.
I thought Logan Sargent did a nice job. And you'd said here lately he hasn't running kind of the floor and dribbling and dishing off. And then I thought Cooper Lanier was really good tonight at catching ready to shoot and shoot outside instead of driving, because I thought at times Saturday against Frankton size, some of your guards went inside looking to score and weren't going to get shots off against the trees.
No.
And so tonight it was nice to see them catch ready to shoot.
Yes. Yeah. And that's one of the things that we worked really hard on this week, was understanding that when you've got a lineup of 6'9", 6'6", 6'5", and 6'4", and we're 5'8", you're not going to drive to the basket and get those shots off. I think Brody Arnold had one swatted that night that still hasn't landed yet. No, and that's one of the things, again, that we worked on this week, and we were on the whole season for that matter, is, you got to drive and pitch and then wait for it to open up and let the offense work for you. And I thought we were patient enough tonight to do that. And again, to your point on Logan Sargent, he was, again, I don't remember what he had point-wise, but he plays a role so much bigger than where I thought he would be at this point in his career, and he's really stepped up and done a lot of good things this year.
Now, the nice thing is you're going to give him a long weekend because you don't play again.
We're going to take tomorrow and Saturday off. I think my assistant coaches had a little bit of a raised eyebrow because we had 3 days off from school and we didn't practice during those days. but we're in the midst of the grind of the season, and I think we've been flirting with a little bit of sickness going through, and I think it's important to get off our feet and get some hydration going and take care of the body a little bit, and then we push to the end.
Thanks so much to Michelle, Coach VanSkyock, and Coach Hidman for joining the Central Indiana Sports Report. Thank you for listening. Always appreciate it. Please do us a huge favor and share this podcast with an Elwood Panthers fan or a Tri-Central Trojans fan in your life. Help us spread the word that the Central Indiana Sports Report is talking about what Central Indiana sports fans are talking about every single day. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Susie.